Hey, this is John from Freedom Force Talk Squad. How's it going? Today's episode is brought to us by the Lagered Ale of Old Tomorrow. Look at beautiful John A right there, right? I've had this beer before. I met the owner once. He was giving out a tasting at an LC, and he was awesome. I loved him. Yeah, it's crisp. It's got a long hops. It's clean. It's tough. It's like it's sort of like it's like a hunting beer. I like it. Old Tomorrow, eh? Rugged and tasty. So we're gonna talk about Wizardry, and this is if you don't know, Owen Benjamin talks a lot about spells. He's got a complex view of the world. I really like him, and he explains how people can believe ridiculous things is the result of wizardry. It's a frame of mind that I think that everyone should be aware of, because a magician looks retarded if you expose his trick, right? And you go, oh no, you just did it like that, and it's like there's an extra compartment in his hat. That's where the rabbit came out. You do that, then you just got a guy with a hat with a false bottom. That's all you have, right? So you have these identitarian, globalist, intersectional leftists telling people what to do, and they're fighting among themselves too. You know, the trans people are fighting with the trans exclusionary radical feminists, the TERFS, and pass the popcorn. But all of this leftist stuff is very poisonous, and so if you just refute their arguments with just common sense, then you've just got a guy, and this leftist is just stunned, like blinking into the sunlight, because of reason. For example, climate change is real. The sea is rising. It's like, yeah, but there's no evidence of it. And the ice shields, they get a little thinner, they get a little thicker. Gets a little colder than usual, gets a little warmer than usual. The only thing there is flux. It's not. There's no change. If you stop climate change, you would be causing climate change, right? These people are ridiculous, right? Or like this weird leftist view that there's this bond between the LGBT community and Islam. By what effing metric? You can't believe that. Islam is specific and forthright with their regard to the LGBT community. They are not fans. And there's this weird kind of like LGBT cultural imperialism where it's like, if we're just nice enough to you, you'll just go, oh, okay, come here, cuddles. They're not falling for that. They know what they believe. The Quran is not vague. It's so we'll leave it at that. It's a ridiculous, idiotic lie that the LGBT and Islam can be reconciled. Okay, and now we have, as I mentioned before, trans women versus trans exclusionary radical feminists. I wish I could pick a side. It's the same thing as like a hockey game. It's a hockey game funner to watch. And you're like, oh, I like this team doing better. Leaves. But at the same time, it's gross. It's like two guys in togas knife fighting in a back alley in Thailand. It's just this. So there you have. Trans exclusionary saying like women, have special rights because women are special, and then you have trans people saying anyone can be a woman, and I'm not going to tell you my opinion of that because one side seems a little more reasonable than the other. Let's just say that there's been an odd meeting of mind among TERFs and American conservatives. They're starting to see eye to eye on a couple of things, and they're nodding at each other knowingly, and so that's bullshit train wreck. But you notice I have to use mealy mouth way of talking about it because it's, you know, you can get arrested for saying the wrong stuff. Anyways, finally, gun control. And this is like the easiest thing. This is where someone says, we need guns because I trust the government more. And when you say to people like, okay, is Trump a terror? Is Trump Hitler? Like, yeah, so why do you want to give him your guns? And they don't. And the fact that it's so obvious that this is ridiculous, like, is just proof that it leaves them. They point out when you're doing this that you know, the fact that you have no answer for that doesn't even bother you. It just, you know, it's like people who were into horoscopes in the 70s. You know, it's like, it's ridiculous, all this nonsense. So wizardry, most wizards you meet aren't going to be that good at it. There are some pros out there though, and but just be aware that these things that aren't true when you pretend they are true, or are they don't work out in real life, really. And we have to deal with reality in our political sphere. That's just very simple, and there's room for everyone, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So don't worry. It's going to be fun, and subscribe. Subscribe to us, and we'll, you know, I'll be interested to, you know, speak more on this topic, because I really enjoy revealing that someone's argument is not up to par. It's not worthy for an adult to hold it. And I mean, you don't want to go around just ripping people apart all the time. There's no reason to be like that, really. But, like, you know, people use that logic to push you around, you know, or, you know, you have a few weapons at your own disposal. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how we are going to not let bully lefties get away with sounding reasonable, because their whole ethos is deranged and evil and terrible. So we have the right to not have that problem, not have their problems infect our lives as much as possible. Like, just okay, and eventually they'll get bored of themselves, you know. So we're going to look forward to the walk parties in spring, and everyone's going to have a good time. The more we present fair-minded goodness and not wizardry and shame, the more the world is just going to improve. Your world, my world, and we're all going to live here in happiness. So thanks for hanging out. More videos coming soon, and remember, you're freer than you think. Cheers. And the Jackson gun. Long live the Jackson gun.